Real alligators were on Linda Kozlowski's 1986 film set. Shooting guards stationed among trees, she camped in abandoned uranium mine houses for Crocodile Dundee. Her fame came from the film. This made her a lousy housewife. Her co-star abandoned his wife and 5 kids for her. Australia disliked her. People threatened to murder her daily. Then it got worse. She found something that altered everything after 23 years of marriage. She travels wealthy people in Morocco as a Muslim. Why? The true reason will shock you. Linda Kozlowski was born in Fairfield, Connecticut, on January 7, 1958. Her family moved Poland after the war for better opportunities in the U.S. They changed their names from Helena and Stanislaw to Helen and Stanley to blend in. Despite their poverty, they worked hard for their daughter. They defined America as safety and opportunity. Linda sought and gained fame there. The year was her last at Andrew Ward High. Even then, everybody knew she was good. She conducted school plays, not simply acted. She memorized her lines and occasionally the book. When things went wrong, she assisted others. Her Emily performance was spoken about in our community. Several stated she made them weep. That's rare at high school shows. Linda was already special, and everyone who saw her show recognized she also done other things. Few individuals get into New York's Juilliard School, but she did. Less than 12% succeed. Kid attentiveness is high. Besides acting, she performed opera. Not like that. Busy days, long hours, and little sleep. Through it all, she persisted. Her professors observed how quickly she could sing an Italian aria after a passionate statement. Though serious and concentrated, everyone could see she was working on something greater. By 1981, she was 23 and performing professionally. Her role in How It All Began. The play's themes of immigration and identity resonated with her. Linda was chosen over 200 ladies who auditioned. Critics noticed, some termed her surprising. Something more than lovely was mentioned. Actor hires will remember that review. She felt this was more than an excellent show. The beginning of everything. We watched Death of a Salesman next. In 1984, she earned a modest role in a huge program. The Broadway staging of an Arthur Miller classic featured several celebrities. Linda played Miss Forsythe. Despite not being the lead, she stood out. Her scene stood out. She gave the character fresh vitality, which the NYT praised. That act earned her reputation in the theater in Hollywood. A new opportunity followed. A bizarre Australian film needed performers in 1985. The name was Crocodile Dundee. The premise was simple. Pair a fierce Aussie man with a clever, interested American woman for a crazy date. They wanted no great celebrity. They wanted someone new. Linda tried. She was unknown despite her TV and stage career. Many other ladies coveted the role. She understood as she read lines with Paul Hogan. Their link was weak. It made sense. She was cast. A $500K agreement for 3 movies accompanied it. This was tremendous for someone who rarely uses screens. She didn't merely accept the money and show up. She prepared. She mastered Aussie lingo. She discovered society. She wanted Sue Charlton to feel real, not artificial. Nothing went wrong when they shot. Fun, love, and charm blended perfectly. Making Crocodile Dundee was as insane as the film. One of the most brutal scenes was a Northern Territory river assault. On film, Linda Kozlowski, who played Sue Charlton, was almost pulled into the water by a big crocodile. More was going on behind the scenes than acting. The crew utilized a synthetic crocodile for close-ups, while real ones were swimming nearby. A tree dweller was ready to shoot a genuine crocodile if it approached. Movie was shot at Kakadu National Park. It looked nothing like a movie set because there were no hotels or trailers. The performers and company slept in uranium workers' abandoned cottages. Every shot seemed risky. Fear is palpable on television. Behind the scenes, tensions were high. Star and co-writer Paul Hogan was suffering a mental collapse. He wed Nolene Edwards in 1958. The couple has 5 children. By 1985, when the film was made, their marriage was shaky. They divorced in 1981 and remarried soon after. They planned a second, public divorce. Hogan and Linda Kozlowski fought throughout it. On film, they got along. It was genuine enough to propagate rumors. Kozlowski was vilified in Australian media. Hogan later acknowledged, "I'm not a great husband. I'm good early." His performance was genuine. He witnessed his life fall apart immediately. A cinematic scene nearly didn't happen, not as we recall. Mick Dundee's, "That's not a knife, that's a knife, but laughter almost killed it," is still remembered. Kozlowski could not keep a straight face. She laughed out loud every time Hogan delivered the phrase because it was dry and beautiful. It took 47 tries to succeed. 47. Filming on a busy New York street is difficult. But this became funny. The group was also disorganized. Somehow rage became magic. That sequence is much discussed in film history. That laugh, not seen in the final cut, had a deeper meaning regarding the two stars' relationship. This connection illuminated the screen and awards loop. Lena Kozlowski was a 1987 Golden Globe Best Supporting Actress nominee. It was her first major film. She competed with Diane Weist, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, and other Hollywood stars. No one expected her in that bunch. Most people didn't know her because she was new. She walked the red line and did interviews, proving young stars could compete with old ones. This Cinderella story is popular in Hollywood. This time it was an Australian film no one expected to succeed, but it did. Box office sales were high for Crocodile Dundee. Over $328 million was made worldwide on an $8.8 million budget. This movie was the most popular in U.S. theaters for 9 weeks and generated $22 million, making it the second most successful of 1986. The only profitable film was Top Gun. Linda Kozlowski's debut part earned her one of the decade's highest-grossing new actress. That's impressive for someone who only slept in mine huts for a few months. The movie's popularity changed her career. It made her famous in pop culture. Suddenly her face was everywhere. Her role in one of the most successful comedies is still a challenge for newcomers. The 1986 film Crocodile Dundee made Paul Hogan renowned worldwide. He was famous in Australia, but something more intimate was happening behind the scenes. Hogan fell in love with Linda Kozlowski, his American co-star, while filming. Worst time ever. Longtime partner Nolene Edwards was still his wife. It was no ordinary marriage. Hogan married Nolene in 1958, divorced in 1981, and remarried in 1982. Before splitting permanently in 1989, they had 5 children and spent almost 30 years together. Hogan's second divorce drew notice. The breakup was no longer private. Crocodile Dundee became popular, so everyone watched it. A lot of people wondered if Kozlowski ended the marriage. She was over 20 years younger than him, yet they looked too wonderful on TV. Both Hogan and Kozlowski alleged the connection started when his marriage was failing. It was too simple to overlook the link. Shocked fans. Although Hogan was a good father, he was divorcing his wife for a younger celebrity. The story was widely covered. The Australian media nicknamed it the Outback Affair. It made headlines in LA and Sydney. Paparazzi followed them everywhere. Reporters tracked their stays, flights, and camped outside their homes. Talk about them increased louder as they sought to stay quiet. Hogan was considered an enemy to the Australian ideal, while Kozlowski embodied everything locals disliked in Hollywood. People did more than speak. Kozlowski received hate mail and death threats. Her detractors labeled her the home wrecker. She ended a lovely 23-year marriage and a beloved family. Soon after becoming renowned, many despised her. To protect herself, she stopped attending public events and hired security. As Hogan's ex-wife, Nolene was regarded as the heartbroken mother of 5 raising the kids alone. Many felt sorry for her. Fury followed Kozlowski more than a narrative. It was hazardous. These two tried to hide everything for almost a year. They checked into hotels under false identities and met secretly. They arrived and went at various times and spoke secretly. Few realized what was happening. Living that way was challenging. The falsehoods, pressure, and deception were too much. Truth eventually emerged. Hogan's marriage ended then. The way people perceived him changed forever. The May 1988 release of Crocodile Dundee 2 was a smash. It was profitable worldwide. It earned $239 million worldwide, while costing $14 million. Many people worldwide were eager to see Paul Hogan and Linda Kozlowski on TV again. This time she earned a huge rise. From the first film, her compensation increased 240%. She made $1.2 million on her second film. You appeared to win, but there was a catch. Paul Hogan still earned more. He starred and wrote the script. The salary difference was still noticeable. This sequel smashed several records. It earned $24.9 million, about $60 million today. The film grossed $24.5 million in its US debut Thanksgiving weekend. That was the funniest start ever. Even so, it was 1988's sixth most profitable film. Now, Linda was famous worldwide. Even though she was successful, Hollywood treated her unfairly. Ideas flooded in after the movie's success. However, something was wrong. All looked sane. Linda could only play girlfriends or cute sidekicks. No stars or depth, just attractive chicks and a humorous man. She was offered Ghost, Pretty Woman, and Basic Instinct. All became hit films. Pretty Woman earned over $463 million. Many know Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct. Linda declined because she didn't want to be a lovely face with no role. The industry was startled. Who would decline such a role? Linda had other intentions. She trained for crucial tasks. She wanted to be renowned for more than her appearance. The following game was Ammo Pass. A unique Bill Paxton dark comedy was planned. It failed despite spending $8 million in trying televangelism. It earned $169,000. Over $7.8 million was lost. The film ended soon. It was quickly pulled from theaters. It was terrible for Linda. She was world famous following a major hit. Her next film was one of the worst of the year. It hurt business. Not the writing or directing, but her. This shrank the pieces more. Linda Kozlowski was more than a lovely face on TV and film. Juilliard taught her dancing. She performed on Broadway. She was really competent and experienced. Nobody cared in Hollywood. Only Paul Hogan's companion was seen. Her actions went beyond the film. She was called that in person. After their 1990 marriage, she struggled even more to break the stereotype. She returned to Los Angeles in 2001 for Crocodile Dundee, but felt caught in the past. It didn't matter what she did. What she learned didn't matter. Australian entertainment solely showed the American female. She'd had enough by 1989. She informed her agency of her departure. She was tired of creating stories and being ignored. She was tired of Hollywood acting like they had nothing left. Her latest film was a flop. It upset her to watch other performers succeed with roles she turned down, but she felt supported in her work. Besides bothersome, it hurt my heart. She would sacrifice fame and wealth to escape. Motherhood wasn't easy for Linda Kozlowski. For over 8 years after marrying Paul Hogan, she struggled to have a child. It was hard going. She was stuck, psychologically exhausted, and miserable at work. She worried she would never have children. She gave birth to Chance at 40 in 1998. Though she almost gave up, the moment seemed like a gift. She described those years as difficult in an interview. After a few years, she stated her previous 2 acting roles were bad because she was obsessed with having a kid. Her desire consumed her existence. When Chance was born, she and he felt refreshed. Linda Kozlowski stated, "I've got a baby, I'm happy, and I'm content." Finding serenity at 43 was all she had dreamed for. Not even joy could mend everything. Chance, their kid, showed how different she and Paul Hogan were. Linda craved freedom, whereas Hogan desired a tranquil, family-centered existence. They adored their son, but their emotional distance grew. Chance, in his mid-20s, made news years later. Hogan looked anxious about his disheveled appearance. According to several sources, it showed that family troubles may continue when the cameras stop filming. Linda's acting career was also declining. After Crocodile Dundee, her career declined. She acted beside Hogan again in 1990's Almost an Angel, which bombed and was panned. Her performance was wooden and uninspired, according to Roger Ebert, which stung. Once a budding celebrity, she was now fading. Her parts become less and less important. She subsequently stated that Backstreet Justice and The Neighbor, her 1994 direct-to-video flicks, were poor. She stated production stress caused an ulcer. She felt alone on set, who cared about doing a decent job, which wore her down. Home life wasn't easier. Due to Hogan's tax troubles, she and Hogan regularly relocated between Los Angeles and Australia. Linda felt unstable and impermanent. She divorced after 23 years in October 2013. Fans were surprised, They met and fell in love while filming Crocodile Dundee, one of Hollywood's rare enduring love stories. Behind the scenes, the relationship was failing. Incompatible differences, Linda said. That concept may seem unclear, but Linda and Paul understood it. She was sick of waiting for him to change. He stayed in Australia while she wanted new things. Too much physical and emotional space separated them. Court records showed further fissures. Linda lived healthier than Hogan, who smoked extensively. Their home smelled like cigarettes, as did their conflicts. Tensions rose as he drank more. Their kid Chance was caught in the fight. Home was cold and silent after being full of laughing. Publicizing the divorce terms raised eyebrows. Linda accepted $6.25 million, but waived spousal and child support. Chance was 15 then. Linda ended her divorce quickly, unlike other celebrities who fight over money. Some said she was done. Others thought she was recovering her life after years of compromise. Regardless, she left with closure. Linda was honest in subsequent interviews. There had been no scandal or betrayal, just two individuals growing apart. We became more like roommates than husband and wife, remarked. Conversations focused on grocery lists and school pickups. The movie-set romance faded slowly. The divorce was formalized on July 23, 2014, 24 years and 2 months after their May 23, 1990 wedding. The symmetry haunted. Linda's tale continued. She was vacationing in Marrakesh's crowded marketplaces less than a year later in 2015. She met charming Moroccan tour guide Moulay Hafid Baba. Instant connection. They laughed, toured the city, and found their groove. Linda, 57, opened a new chapter after closing one. With almost 200 guests, they married in a beautiful Moroccan wedding in 2017. Linda totally accepted her new life. She became Layla, converted to Islam and learned Arabic, cooked Moroccan food, and wore kaftans. She termed the event a rebirth. That year she and Baba founded Dream My Destiny, a premium travel company offering customized Moroccan trips to Americans. Private riads, Atlas Mountain hot air balloon excursions, and Berber family feasts were provided. It served over 500 consumers and made over $2 million by 2020. Linda had numerous visitors, and while her popularity helped bring attention, her devotion for her new life amazed everyone. Selling her Venice Beach property for $1.8 million in 2018 and buying a riad in Marrakesh's Medina completed her metamorphosis. Antiques, art, and memories filled each room as she and Baba repaired it. Lanterns, spices, and a slower pace replaced scripts and spotlights. Linda left Hollywood for better. She divides her time between Marrakesh and Los Angeles, maintaining her American citizenship, but identifying with Morocco. Her days start with the city's call to prayer, serene runs through the Menara Gardens, and quiet breakfasts of mint tea and fresh bread. She curates travel experiences, shops local markets, and discovers hidden jewels that most tourists miss. She runs Dream My Destiny with her husband Baba, enabling tourists experience Moroccan culture. She unwinds at hams or pleasant cafes at night. Everything fits in her universe. Between two, her old life has changed, not gone. Paul Hogan, her on-screen boyfriend and then husband, continues in her tale. They raised a son and spent decades together. They divorced in 2014, without scandal and with respect. Paul even wished her a happy marriage and good business. Linda is regretless, not angry. She departed with clarity. After Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles in 2001, her roles were unsatisfying. She called them low quality, straight-to-video efforts that depressed her. She decided they weren't worth it. She left to raise her son and live meaningfully. She now leads tours, studies civilizations, and enjoys simple things. Her path is about reinvention and letting go. Not only did Linda Kozlowski forsake stardom, she discovered better.